Welcome to your extended forecast. I'm meteorologist Bella Grace. We're getting a look at the entire U.S. right now to get kind of a feel of what we're dealing with outside and what we're going to continue to deal with into the end of the week. Right here at home, we're watching a high pressure system sit over us just off to our southeast. Now that's trying to keep skies clear. It's definitely heating us up. We're feeling a lot of that warm south air move in. But just a little bit further north, we're watching low pressure trying to move into Kansas and Missouri. As it does, it's bringing a little bit of a cold front our way. Likely that's going to break down before it moves into 5 country. However, the showers out ahead of this front could dip down into our area overnight tonight into early tomorrow morning, bringing up our rain chances. It really depends on where this high pressure system is going to fit. If it sits a little bit further west over us, we could be clear of these showers and it could just push them out overnight. But if it stays off to our east, a little bit of those showers have the chance to move into northwest Arkansas as well as parts of the River Valley. We'll go ahead and take a look at that in just a second. But as far as right now goes today, what are we expecting? Just that 10% chance of showers overnight tonight, much later in the evening. So we won't have to deal with those today. As we get into the afternoon, our temperatures feeling hot. We are warming up both today and tomorrow, expecting to sit in the 90s, 91 as our high for Thursday, 94 in Fort Smith and Van Buren. Those 95s trying to reach into some spots, especially in Oklahoma. We're seeing that in Sallisaw at 96 in Poto. So a very warm afternoon for a lot of us for this end portion of September. We are feeling nice and hot as we look forward into tomorrow, Friday. Even warmer. That high pressure is definitely bringing in these strong south winds. You can see as they flow into northwest Arkansas as well as the River Valley, pushing those high temperatures up towards 98 in Poto, 97 in Fort Smith, Ozark, and Van Buren. A very hot end to our week. We're seeing even 95 as far north as Rogers, Bentonville. Huntsville seems to be sitting our coolest at about 92. That's still well above average for this time of the year. We're supposed to be starting to cool down, feeling like fall, but with these temperatures, it's almost like summer is still here. And our humidity, that's pretty high as well. Our dew point values are increasing. Over the past 24 hours, we've seen an increase, and that's continuing to build as we look forward into tomorrow. You can see how much of that muggy moisture is coming into our area and just sitting over us. What we're also dealing with, a few strong winds along that cold front that we're watching move to our north. So these winds will be a little bit stronger for us, still coming in from our south, but those will speed up along northwest Arkansas, not quite making it into the River Valley because that front is off to our north, is not really grazing us here in 5 country. It's just bringing some stronger winds a little bit closer to our area. So we'll see that overnight tonight into very early Friday morning. We're talking midnight, 1 o'clock. So we'll all likely be asleep for these gusty winds around 20 miles per hour, but those will be back around the morning hours, 9 o'clock on Friday morning. We'll start off pretty breezy, especially those of us in Oklahoma. We'll see 17 miles per hour in Poto, 22 in Siloam Springs here in northwest Arkansas. We're seeing closer to 25 miles per hour. Strong southern winds coming in to start off our day, but we'll see that break down as the day continues and we push a lot of that cooler air off to our north. We still have those strong southern winds coming in to heat things up as we go into the rest of the day. So still likely to see some strong wind gusts closer to 12 or 13 miles per hour. As we look forward into the weekend, we can see the start of a cool down coming our way. The first day officially of fall coming on Sunday, and we're going to feel slightly cooler. We might dip down into the 80s, likely in northwest Arkansas. We are going to get there with a few more spotty showers trying to come our way. Why is that? Well, we're waiting for our own front to move in over Sunday afternoon, trying to dip our temperatures down into those 80s, even cooler than that for the start of next week. But you can see how those warm temperatures are hanging on in the River Valley. We're seeing 96 on Saturday, slightly less rain chances for our southern counties, but still sitting in the 90s for the start of next week. Here's what we're watching for tonight and early tomorrow morning. You saw those little showers trying to make their way into northwest Arkansas overnight tonight. Those are likely to fizzle out as they move into Arkansas. They cross that state line and seem to just kind of work themselves out. We won't see too much in the way of those showers, maybe an isolated shower or two moving in to our western side of northwest Arkansas. Tomorrow morning, though, we have a better chance of seeing some of those residual showers along the end half of that front that's trying to move into our north. That could send a few showers into the River Valley and parts of northwest Arkansas, especially along our eastern side. We could see that very scattered and very light, still very low end rain chances for Friday morning. This is about 8 o'clock what we're watching, and you can see those are pretty sparse. They're not well organized, they're not very heavy, so we're not too worried about those. Those are going to fizzle out as they move off to our east. We'll continue with some spotty rain chances into the weekend, most of those really building up into Saturday evening as we wait for our front to move in. That's going to bring some showers off over northwest Arkansas for Saturday evening. Continuing on into Sunday, will likely clear out overnight, see a few clouds, and then rain chances return for a little bit later on Saturday. You can see how that's peaking up into our spotty range, and then we're going to slowly drop down, get a little bit more calm air, hopefully some sunshine by Tuesday as we try to dry things out. But Wednesday we see a return of some of those showers. All of this because high pressure and low pressure are fighting over who gets to sit over 5 country this weekend and next week as well. We are seeing high pressure really win out, at least for the next couple of days, and then we watch for low pressure to try to bring in some cool air. As it does, it's going to bring some of that cooler air, drop our temperatures, as well as bring some of those spotty showers that we're waiting on. So how is that going to turn out? Well, low pressure seems to be kind of taking a step back, moving off to our west and letting high pressure take over by later next week. That's going to allow some warmer air to try to work back in. But by the time October comes, a little bit further away from now, we're expecting to still be slightly above average, but a little bit closer to that average. So it's going to start to feel more like fall the later we get into the season, and we're starting to see some of those drier effects sit over our heads for the next little while. You can see where that cold front really drops in and brings that fall front for the start of October. We're looking at 70s coming in by Monday and staying with us into the rest of the week, even when we see high pressure trying to work back in later in the week. Thursday, Friday, still highs looking about 80 as the absolute high, and then plateauing back out into the high 70s. So it's going to be a big jump from where we're at tomorrow in those mid 90s to start of next week with 70s. Huge drop off for us with only a few scattered showers likely. A little bit more rain likely in the River Valley on Monday. We have about a 30% chance of seeing those showers as that front continues to push cold air our way. That's still coming with those 70s in the River Valley as well. We'll likely see a few more 80s stick around next week in the River Valley, where we're holding on to a little bit more of that heat. But the jump from 97 tomorrow to 79, flipping those numbers on Monday. It's going to be a big cool down for us, and a definitely a nice cool start to fall. That's been your extended forecast. I'm meteorologist Bella Grace.